That was how Kelly introduced her impromptu singing performances when she was 3 years old. On behalf of Ray and myself, we'd like to welcome everyone who's come here to share in this celebration.
I'd also like to mention that my mom and dad, some of them have been introduced before, they'll be celebrating their 60th wedding anniversary.
Ray and I are both very proud of our daughter Kelly. Growing from a joyful baby to a beautiful young woman, she stands before us today, strong, independent, loving, compassionate, smart, hardworking, a good sense of humor, and you may have noticed her smile can light up a room even as big as this one.
As a wee girl, she brightened our days with singing, giggling, drawing wonderful, colorful pictures. As she got older and we took her fishing and camping, she would come on the boat and then write newspaper articles about all the family's activities. Her fourth grade teacher called her a shining star.
Kelly excelled at the piano and was often bribed to entertain at family gatherings. As a teenager, she was able to travel to the Maritimes and England with Girl Guides of Canada, and Montreal with her school band.
When she moved to Edmonton to take nursing at U of A, something very adventuresome took hold of her. She decided to add a year abroad in Australia, where she took surfing lessons, camped down under the stars among those awesome critters, scuba dived, rode quads, jumped out of an airplane, bungee jumped, probably some studying too, I think. Anyway, I trust that's all over.
For a little more insight on Kelly growing up, we thought we'd share a few things that Kelly has taught us.
Okay, number one, you can never have too many kids, or skirts, that's how she pronounced it back then, or too many purses.
She taught us that a 4-year-old can get away with calling her grandma an old geezer.
And even if your feet can't reach the pedals, you can still play the piano, memorize the pieces, and have perfect pitch.
She taught us that a fish is just too icky to touch.
Oh yeah, and you can demand that your sister be punished severely, but just don't expect it, at least until after Mom finishes stifling a giggle.
Teaching your child to drive should be left to the professionals who already have hair falling out.
How come he's getting all the laughs? If really frustrated, one can paddle a kayak backward just as quickly as forward, leaving everyone else in the wake.
She also taught us that your friends' parents are much more tolerant of the effects of partying than your own.
She taught us that an agreed upon email on arrival in Australia means, well, anytime after your first day at the beach.
And she also taught us that against your parents' best advice, you can meet the love of your life in the bar.
Oh yeah, that brings us to Jason. Welcome to our family, Jade. You are a wonderful match for Kelly. We can see so many good qualities in you. You're determined, motivated, a hard worker, loving and protective, kind, smart, handsome, and your shoes, always so polished and shiny. That's what I do
Jason has all the makings of an excellent son-in-law, despite growing up watching an underachieving, uninspiring, and generally unimpressive hockey team, the Edmonton Oilers. Jason thinks very long and carefully before he makes decisions. which was certainly the case with his proposal. He came to me a while back and asked my advice on a marriage issue. He wanted to know if he spoke in a forest and Kelly was not around to hear him, would he still be wrong?
So to help Jason understand marriage better, we have a few words of wisdom for him. Firstly, the most effective way to remember your wedding anniversary is to forget it just once.
Jason, there are only 2 times in a man's life when he can't understand a woman. Before marriage and after marriage.
Whenever you're wrong, admit it. Whenever you're right, stop talking.
In any and all marital discussions, always remember to get in the last 2 words. Yes, dear. Most of us will agree marriage is like wine. It gets better with age. It is our pleasure to propose a toast to Kelly and Jason. Please stand and raise your glass.